Hello! It is Tuesday. Welcome to a weekly reading vlog. I'm starting this one on Tuesday because yesterday I decided to do a little day vlog just to try and pick me up a little bit. It was Blue Monday, didn't want to feel like I was within that slump of Monday vibes, so I decided to do a little day vlog, and I went out on my lunch break for a walk, and then I worked from a cafe from the afternoon, and then I had Patreon lives, did lots of reading. I have many reading updates for you, including a little mini book haul, and I am very excited about the week ahead, literally just because of books, which is a great feeling to have. I had a pretty low week last week, as I've mentioned, and I just felt very lonely and very isolated, and everything was very repetitive. So this week, I don't want that to happen again. So I've started a new book last night. Well, it was more like this morning. It was like midnight. Started a new book. So I'm going to talk to you about that, but I'm going to talk to you also about the book that I finished last night, because I was vlogging reading this book, but I didn't vlog finishing it because I was so close to the end, but I really needed to wash my hair so it would dry before I went to bed. So I ended the vlog and will now be telling you about the book that I finished. So that book is You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. This is a YA thriller. This is Karen M. McManus's latest book, and I have always loved Karen M. McManus's thrillers. They always feel exciting, they always make me feel tense and on the edge of my seat, and they're just fun, and that's what I want from a YA thriller. I don't ever really expect YA thrillers to be absolutely amazingly written. In fact, generally any thriller, I'm not like going into expecting amazing prose and writing. I just want to be entertained. And this book did entertain me, but also at times it just felt really stupidly plotted. Like the start plot really could have done with a lot more thought to it. It just seemed very convenient and just was it just immediately accepted as what was happening, and I just thought, really? I know that it's fiction and sometimes it's all going to be a bit convenient for the sake of the plot, but every time I film there is a siren going past. I don't know why this happens every time I film, because I do not notice it at any other point during the day. Anyway, yes, so I think that the start of the plot could have been worked out a little bit, and I think the characters also felt a little bit bland and boring. They were very samey to any other YA character. I don't really know what they had that stood them aside for me, which probably meant I didn't feel as invested in them as characters, but I did like where this went, and I liked the journey it took, and I liked the ending and the suspense, but it just didn't blow me away. So I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. So that means I'm now moving on to my Patreon book club pick, which is My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologises by Frederick Backman. This was one that my mum bought me for Christmas, and I have been really excited to read it. It looks very cute and cozy. It's about a relationship between a grandma and her granddaughter and the stories that she tells her. I read one chapter last night, and I think it might well be one of the best first chapters I've ever read. It was very wholesome and lovely, and it's just really familiar feeling. I am quite close with my grandma, and it definitely reflected some of that for me and reminded me sometimes of when I was a child and we would go out together and when she was looking after me after school and things, and it just felt really lovely. Also, I really enjoyed that the main characters, well, I don't know which one of them is going to be the main character, whether it's the granddaughter or the grandma, or whether they're going to share the spotlight, but the granddaughter, she is 7 and she is incredibly intelligent, and I really enjoy that aspect of her because she's very cheeky and very funny, and I'm really enjoying reading about her. As I say, I'm only a chapter in, I'm literally 10 pages, but yeah, I already feel really absorbed in this. I'm really loving the characters, and my patrons are further along with this for our book club pick are saying that it just gets better and better and it's really lovely. So I feel this is the perfect book to combat the January blues, that January feeling. This just feels really nice. This is also the last book on my January TBR, so I am loving it so far. I did buy a couple of books yesterday, but I hauled those in my daily vlog for yesterday, so if you want to check that out, I will try and remember to link it up here or up here, somewhere up here. But I met up with my dad's side of the family on Sunday for our little Christmas walk together. We were meant to do this on Boxing Day, but someone had come into close contact with someone that had COVID, and we decided we would just wait. So I met up with them on Sunday and we exchanged gifts, and a couple of those gifts for me were some books, so I wanted to show you what I got. So first up, I got The Man Who Didn't Call by Rosie Walsh. Now, I saw this and was like, oh, it looks like it's just an adult romance contemporary. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. But then I read the plot, and actually all the reviews are really glowing for it, and it just looks really interesting, like it has a bit of a twist to it. This is about a woman who spends a certain amount of time, 7 days, with a man and falls in love with him and absolutely has the best 7 days, and then he completely disappears. and she's told to just leave it and these just ghosted her, but she's getting the vibe there's something more to it, so she decides to investigate and dig around to discover what's really going on. So I think this is an adult contemporary romance, but then it's also got aspects of a mystery element and someone's hiding something, and I thought it sounded quite cool. I quite like the sound of it. Next up, I got The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I have seen this all over Bookstagram and BookTube, especially during the October time when this is just the kind of book that people are going to want to be reading. This is a contemporary fantasy, I think. It's set, I think, in the modern day, which I quite enjoy it when fantasy merges into the world that we know. And I think this follows two characters, one of whom I assume is a witch and has cursed the other one. Yes, so it's her ex-boyfriend who she has hexed here, as we can see, but this 9 years ago she hexed him and now he's back and they have to break the curse, otherwise he may die. I think that's the general plot, but it just sounds fun, and I figure I probably won't read this one until October again because it will just be perfect for that time of year, but I'm excited to. And finally, we've got All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This is a kind of dark spin on the Hunger Games, I think. The top line of it says, "You fell in love with the victors of the Hunger Games, now prepare to meet the villains of the Blood Veil." So there is a town that people have basically found out is no good after this book was published that was kind of telling all this town's secrets. So I don't know if like the town's been kind of banished or something. Oh no, it's been the opposite of that. It's been thrust into the spotlight. So in this town there is every generation there is a fight to the death between 7 families and this follows that fight to the death, I think. So that's where the Hunger Games element comes into it, and this one family usually always wins, but now the other families, I assume because of this book, have got more of a chance of winning. I don't know exactly, but it sounds dark Hunger Gamesy and I am ready for it. So those are the books I got for late Christmas presents, which is exciting. For the rest of the week today, I think I'm going to go to the cinema later with my stepdad to see the new Kingsman film, which looks really good. I've heard it's quite funny. Later on in the week, I literally have no plans. I might be going back to my family home this weekend, but I haven't confirmed that yet. There is COVID going through my sister's school at the moment and it's in her class. There's like 7 of them off with it, so we're a little bit wary, but she's actually been off with a cold, so we're hoping she's avoided it. She's fine now and it wasn't COVID, but we're hoping that maybe the switchover has avoided it. So I'm a little bit wary about going home, but I would like to go home because it's always nice to be around people. So yes, I'm gonna have a much more positive week this week than I did last week, and I'm excited to take you along with me. I'm really excited to read this book. I just want to sit and read it. I want to read it right now, but I have to work, but I'm excited to read it later. I'm at the cinema later, so I can't even read it after work. I'm excited to read it at some point, maybe on my lunch break, although I have been enjoying going for walks in my lunch breaks at the moment just to break up the day a bit. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it soon. It's gonna happen. Also, I am still reading A Life on Our Planet by David Attenborough as an audiobook. Still fantastic, just brilliant, taking my time with it. Would highly advise. I think everyone should read that book. So I will catch up with you later. I don't know why I did that. I'll see you soon. Hello, it is Tuesday night now and I'm currently sat reading this book. I cannot remember feeling like I related this much to a kind of situation in a book in quite a long time. The relationship that these two characters, the grandma and the granddaughter, have, I am seeing a lot of parallels. I'm quite close with my grandma and my parents got divorced when I was very young, and that is a very similar situation for our main character in this book. Her mum's got remarried and is pregnant, and again that is exactly the same thing that happened with me. Granted, I was a little bit of a different age when my mum had my sister. I was 17 when Ava was born, but this is just, there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of relationship parallels as well as just like similarities in the kind of characters they are, but I'm noticing I'm relating to quite a lot of it, and I'm making quite a lot of tabs along the way because of that, and I think because of that this is probably going to be quite an emotional book for me. I think it's very wholesome, but I also think it's going to really tug at the heartstrings, so I don't know if I'm ready for that or not, but it just, yeah, it seems really, really good at the moment. I'm currently waiting for my stepdad to arrive, who is coming to see me after work so we can go out for dinner and then go to see the new Kingsman film, which is nice. I really like having plans in the evening after work. It just makes me feel happier during the day, I think. But this week I've been kind of giving myself a little bit more structure, which, as much as I like the freedom of not needing the structure, I think I do need the structure a little bit within my day-to-day, otherwise it just becomes really menial. So having that kind of structure and things that are happening has definitely helped me. So yes, sitting and reading for a little bit this whilst I wait. Also, I just want to say a quick credit to Henning Kosh, who is the translator of this book. It's translated from Swedish, and what a fantastic job, because I am just, every single line is beautiful, and I am stunned by how stunning these prose are, and it's just absolutely lovely. And obviously Frederick Backman wrote it beautifully, but the fact that that has kept in translation as well, there's such an art to translation. I mean, I'm in awe of people that can speak and write other languages, let alone be able to do this with other people's art. So yeah, very impressed, very much enjoying it, and I can see that this is the perfect book to kind of bring me out of the January blues slump feeling. It's just really lovely. Even if it makes me cry, which I'm sure it probably will, it's still really lovely and wholesome. Hello, it is sometime later on Tuesday night, and I'm back from watching The King's Man. Ah, it was really, really good. It was 4 stars from me. I really loved it. I thought it was a brilliant blend of historical events with fictionalized events added in. It was not hilariously funny, but there were funny moments where it needed to be, and I think that that was done well and balanced with the action and the epic moments. It also felt very emotional, very full of heart, and I just really liked it. But I just wanted to drop by and let you know quick before I go and get ready for bed. So I think it was very, very different to the first two, which obviously set more modern day. This one is set around the period of the First World War, but it was just really interesting, and it was quite different. I think films are starting to break the barrier of what we know as traditional storytelling now, and as are books, and going down different routes, which this one definitely did, I felt, and it was just really good. It was very good. 4 stars. I have given a full review on Letterboxd. If you did want to check that out, I am Books Nest over there as well. I'm gonna go get ready for bed now and talk to you tomorrow. Hello, it is Wednesday, I think. Yes, it is Wednesday. Hi. I'm coming to you from a very, very dark flat, although I don't think you can tell how dark it is. Hang on, if I walk around a bit. Not that you really need to tell how dark it is, but no, you can't tell. It's pretty dark, I promise. Which I think means it's about to tip it down with rain, and I don't know if I want the cozy vibes of the rain or not. Like, the sun makes me happier, but I don't know, it's kind of looking all cozy in my flat. Can you tell? It's just very overexposed really, isn't it? Anyway, instead of talking about the weather, I actually wanted to show you something. So, I don't think I've talked about this in this vlog yet, but in my last vlog, my Monday vlog, I did talk about it. I have bought myself a keyboard, an electric keyboard. Haha! And I am gonna unbox it and set it up very briefly. I'm working, so this is on my lunch break, but I'm gonna just kind of get it out of its box and have a look. I'm very, very excited, and I thought I would show you. I used to play a lot of instruments as a child. I play violin, ukulele, flute, and piano. Like, violin was my proper instrument, and then I kind of enjoyed dabbling in and out of the others. And piano is one that I feel like I could reasonably take back up now. And I've been playing it back at home with me and Ava. We've been playing like Lord of the Rings music on the piano together, and she's pretty good at it as well, and I wanted one here. So I bought myself a keyboard, and I am very, very excited. It's brown rather than black, which is cool, so it's kind of the same colour as my table over here, I think, hopefully. Got the stand set up behind me, so I'm gonna get out of the box and then I will show you. Gonna have that really satisfying moment of peeling this off. I don't know why that was just covering the corner, but that was pleasing. Here it is! It is so cool! The intention is when I'm not using it, I can fold the stand up and put it behind that door, I think, because there's a big gap behind that door and I never really close it. So yay! I don't know if you can tell the colour with the kind of lighting. You kind of can. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, let's turn it on. You ready? Ah, oh. Why are we not having it set? Oh, is the volume not on? Yay! I'm excited. Okay, so this is my new toy, and I'm going to be playing some Lord of the Rings music on it. Not right now, but that's the intention. I'm very excited. Hello, I have some book mail. Here it is. I'm going to sing you the book mail song, and we're going to open the book mail. I hope it's book mail. I'm pretty sure it's book mail. Book mail, books came in the mail. Hey! Let's see what's inside. Okay, I don't know what either of these things are, but I have vague, hopeful, fingers crossed ideas. Okay, the first one is The Atlas 6 by, is it Olivier Blake? Is that right? I know this one was self-published, and a lot of people have probably read this by now potentially or have access to it, but this is being officially published in the UK in a couple of months, and I'm so excited to have a hug. It looks really good. It's dark academia and also absolutely stunning. On the blurb it says the world's best magicians accept the opportunity of a lifetime. 6 are chosen, only 5 will walk away. I just want to read a bit more about the blurb because I am very excited for this book, but I am super shit at summarising things, so let's summarise it using the press release. The world's best magicians offered an extraordinary opportunity to join the secretive Alexandrian society, whose custodians guard lost knowledge from ancient civilizations. Their members enjoy a lifetime of power and prestige, yet each decade only 6 practitioners are invited to fill 5 places. Contenders Libby Rhodes and Nico de Verona are inseparable enemies, cosmologists who can control matters with their minds. Parissa Kamali is a telepath who sees the mind's deepest secrets. Raina Mori is a naturalist who can perceive and understand the flow of life itself, and Callum Nova is an empath who can manipulate the desires of others. Finally, there's Tristan Kane, whose powers mystify even himself. Following recruitment by the mysterious Atlas Blakely, they travel to the Society's London headquarters. Here, each must fight to survive the year, and if they can prove themselves to be the best among their rivals, most of them will. I am very excited for this. I really love books where there are different types of abilities and powers, so yay! Thank you so much to Tor for sending this through to me. Okay, I don't want to get too excited as to what this could be, but I have some hopes and some ambitions that, you know, may or may not be. Yes! Okay, this is another one of my anticipated releases for this year. This one is Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. Oh my god, yes! Oh my god. Also, floppy goals. Oh, and on the back it says, this is how it started. Ah, this comes out in April? Yes, April, and oh my god. Okay, right. Again, I'm going to try and summarise what this is about, except I'm not going to summarise it, I'm just going to read you the blurb, because I can't summarise it. I talked about this one in my 2022 releases video, and I just was reading the summary so many times to try and get it right, because I don't know why my brain just cannot recycle words once I have read them. It's a really useful talent to not have, but oh my gosh, so excited about this one. Will Chen, a Chinese-American art history student at Harvard, has spent most of his life learning about the West, its art, its culture, all that it has taken and called its own. He believes art belongs when it's with its creators, so when a Chinese corporation offers him a highly illegal chance to reclaim 5 priceless sculptures, it's surprisingly easy to say yes. Will's crew, fellow students chosen out of his boundless optimism for their skills and loyalty, aren't exactly experienced criminals. Irene is a public policy major at Duke who can talk her way out of anything. Daniel is a pre-med with steady hands and dreams of being a surgeon. Lily is an engineering student who races cars in her spare time. And Will is relying on Alex, an MIT dropout turned software engineer, to hack her way in and out of each museum they must rob. Each student has their own complicated relationship with China and the identities they've cultivated as Chinese Americans. But one thing soon becomes certain: they won't say no, because if they succeed, they earn an unfathomable 10 million each and a chance to make history. If they fail, they lose everything and the West wins again. So excited for that. That is sent to me by Hodder and Stroughton, and oh my god, doesn't it sound so good? This is going right on my February TBR, as is this. I'm gonna have a good February TBR. I am very, very excited. So this was my book mail. I cannot wait. Thank you so much to these publishers. Hello, it is now Thursday. Hi, I feel like this week's going very, very fast, but I have reading updates and I have film updates because I'm quite enjoying doing film updates. Reading wise, I am reading My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologises. I think this is one that is going to take me up until closer to the end of the month because I'm just taking my time with it. Like, I'm only up to here at the moment. I am just really liking the storytelling. It's very lovely, it's very wholesome. I find myself relating to some of the ways some of the characters respond to each other and things, which is just really nice when you see that kind of thing in a book. So yes, very much enjoying this. It's a really good book club pick for Patreon, and I've also noticed that right at the back, when I was seeing how many pages it was, there's actually some questions for book clubs, so perfect. Film-wise, I watched Hacksaw Ridge last night, which I had never seen before, and wow. So Hacksaw Ridge follows a man who's played by Andrew Garfield called Desmond Doss, and he enlists in the war and is based on a real life man and saved 75 people from this battlefield. And oh my gosh, he is known as well because he never picked up and handled a weapon. And oh, it's just brilliant. The way it was done was very emotional, very fantastic. It had everything you wanted in it, and it was so good. I didn't expect to love it as much. I don't normally go for war films, but I was in the mood to watch it and my friend Kel had recommended it and I just thought it was fantastic. Tonight, I'm actually going back to the cinema. I'm going to see Spider-Man again for the third time. It's just that good. I'm going right after work, which is quite nice because then I still kind of feel like I get my evening to read. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going with my friend and it's just so good. It just has my heart. I cannot wait. So I'm very, very happy to see that for a third time. This week I've been feeling pretty productive. I've decided that I really want to get back into writing the book that I wrote many years ago, 2019 I think. I finished it, I just need to edit it, and I have edited probably the first, I don't even know, the first 1/6 of it, the first few chapters, and I want to get back to doing that because I would love to try and get that book published. It's a middle grade and it features divorced parents, but not in a kind of hating each other way. I wanted to write something that just reflected parents that just were no longer together and a child that was kind of seeing a new family come together and how that would feel as a child seeing that, because that's some stuff I experienced. But at its heart, our main character really, really wants to be able to meet her favourite author, and it's about that. So I really, really want to finish editing that because I would love to be able to approach agents with that. So that is something I've been really motivated to do this week, and I've started online keyboard lessons for my keyboard that I got that I showed you yesterday. So I'm signed up to, I think it's called Simply Piano. It's an app that you can pay for to get the lessons, and I did my first one yesterday and it was really good. So also very excited about that. Annoyingly, I've had a couple of hiccups today. I was meant to be doing a brand collaboration with somebody. I had created the content, I'd put the hours into creating it, and they pulled out like less than 24 hours before the post was meant to go live and will not pay me, and I've put all the effort into it, it's not gone live. So honestly, that's thrown me a bit because that's made me feel a little bit eh. And I was thinking whether to mention it or not in this vlog because there's nothing I can really do about it now, and it's going to be something for me to learn in the future as to how I work that kind of thing and expectations. But it's unusual. It never happened to me before that somebody, I've created the content and put the hours into creating the content, and then someone's just said they don't want it anymore, even though I literally corresponded with them yesterday saying, "Are you still happy for me to create the content?" I sent it to them and everything, so they've essentially got free content now, which is really frustrating. The reason I wanted to talk about it in this vlog is because I've seen a lot of things said online recently about content creators or about people that are considered influencers and things, and how easy it is and how it's just sitting on your phone. And it really annoys me because it isn't. It's so much more than that. Like when I work on a promotion, I've researched into whatever it is I'm promoting, be it a book, a platform, bit of software, anything like that. I'm doing whatever that relevant research would look like to check I even want to take on the promotion, and then enough to make that promotion like be a promotion, and whatever kind of research or work to go into it would need to be done. Creating the content itself is not a quick process. You might see a photo that you think looks lazy or like easy, but that photo might be like the 100th take of that photo shoot. But anyway, point being, content takes a lot of effort and a lot of hard work, and I just wanted to show a bit of love to content creators really, and just to remind everyone how much work it does take and how brilliant my fellow content creators are, because yes, I will now not be paid for work I've put into something, and I'm like, So yes, there is my piece. I am now going to go back to work. I've just been on my lunch break, and I'll catch up with you later after I've probably cried again at Spider-Man 3. Hello, it is after work on Friday. It is the weekend, woohoo! I am currently watching Encanto. I'm about halfway through and it's really lovely. The animation style is gorgeous. I love the story. I love the idea of everyone having their own magical ability, and it's just so nice. Everyone's saying that it's absolutely fantastic online, so I thought I would check it out. My third time watching Spider-Man last night was amazing. It was so good. There's more and more I notice each time, and I love it. It's a masterpiece of a film. Reading wise, I am not very far into this at all. It's a little bit slow, but not in a bad way. Like I can tell it's really building up to something, and I don't know if it's going to have fantasy elements in it because there is this kind of adventure potentially being introduced, so I kind of want it to get where it's going. I'm this far through, so I'm really not very far at all. I am joining sprints tonight. Ro's hosting some sprints, so I'm going to be joining those, so hopefully I can get a little bit more read, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to go back to my family home. So that is my plan as of current. I also got another book yesterday in the post. Hang on, let me find it. So Hodder have sent me an early finished copy of Only a Monster, which I am very, very excited about. This is coming out in February, I think, so really excited to have an early copy of this, and it is absolutely beautiful. Hang on, I'm gonna have to try and summarise it, aren't I? Let me sit down for this. Okay, I don't even know why I bothered to say I'm gonna try and summarise it, because I'm just gonna read you the blurb. It should have been the perfect summer. Sent to stay with her late mother's eccentric family in London, 16-year-old Joan is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at the historic Holland House, and when her super cute co-worker Nick asks her on a date, it feels like everything's falling into place. Then a good Samaritan attempt gone wrong sends Joan spinning through time, and her life quickly begins to unravel. Her family aren't just eccentric, they're monsters with terrifying hidden powers. And Nick isn't just a cute boy, he's a legendary monster slayer who will do anything to bring them down. As she battles Nick, Joan is forced to work with the beautiful and ruthless Aaron Oliver. Heir to a monster family that hates her own, she'll have to embrace her own monstrousness if she is to save herself and her family, because in this story, she's not the hero. It sounds fun, it sounds like it's going to kind of spin the typical plot points that we know for these kind of things on their head a little bit by the fact that we're following her being the monster and being the thing that is hunted. So it sounds really interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm pretty cold today, by the way, if you're thinking, why have I got gloves on? It's chilly out and in, although I have got my heater intermittently and I have a blanket. I've also done day 2 of my keyboard lessons today. They're going well. We've already introduced 2 hands at one time, so that was fast, but I'm getting there. I used to read music and it's certainly something that's fallen out of my brain. Oh, the lighting is not doing well. But the more I'm doing it, obviously, the more it's coming back to me. I feel like I have got the foundation knowledge there. It's just building it back up, so I'm getting there. But yes, I'm gonna chill until sprints. Sprint, read as much as I can, and then go home tomorrow. Okay, I'm seeing my hair in the viewfinder. It's a little out of control. I don't know why, but we're gonna go for it. So, what time is it? Hang on. It is, oh, it's 11:27. I thought it was earlier than that. I have finished this book. I did not expect to finish this in this vlog, let alone before the weekend really started. It's Friday night. I've been on sprints for, I don't really, when did they start? Like 7? Did they start at 7? So for 4.5 hours, I have been on sprints and have managed to finish this. So I haven't run it through Corpal or anything, I'm gonna do that shortly, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out as a 4-star. At its heart, this is a story about grief and how a young girl is dealing with grief, but it's also a story about unity and kind of found family and just, there were some really lovely moments. I think my main, well, my only flaw would be that it was very slow. So for me, I much prefer heavier action-based books. However, I think sometimes it's nice to kind of mix those books up with a slower paced book. But this felt like it wasn't really, I didn't know where it was going until about halfway, which was quite a while to wait to find out where it was going. However, once it was kind of secured in the path it was taking and there was some drama added in, which I think it really desperately needed, once that was introduced, I literally couldn't put it down, and that is why I was able to finish it tonight, which I just, as I said, did not expect to do. So I really enjoyed this. I think this is a great book club pick because I feel like there's a lot to discuss. There's notes at the end of it, like as a guide for book club discussions. So I really, really liked this. I now have to decide what to read next. So I'm kind of possibly thinking about the Atlas 6 because I got that sent to me this week as an early review copy, and this comes out in March, so I do have plenty of time to read this, but I'm essentially off TBR now, so I can go for whatever I fancy. I was going to read this or add it to my February TBR. I've also got Portrait of a Thief, which comes out in April, so these are both, I've got like fairly decent amount of time before they come out. Only a Monster comes out in February, so that one is slightly more pressing, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that before release date or not. That might be like one I read in February, but I'm kind of leaning towards this one. I just fancy it. I like the idea that there's these different magicians and this kind of battle and or whatever it is, like a competition thing. I've forgotten already. See, my retention for blurbs, it's not good. What is happening with my hair? Anyway, I may pick this up. I guess I'll let you know in the morning. I don't know. Why am I like flicking through it isn't going to do much for me. I just need to decide, but that is a potential. I also really want to read Medusa, which is that by Jessie Burton? It's the kind of illustrated hardback, really beautiful edition that came out a couple of months ago. Keep meaning to get to that as well. And I need to read the books to continue my reading BookTuber's least favourite books part 2 video, because I started that in October when I read book 1 of 3 of the books picked for me, and then I just got kind of stuck into specific TBRs and just didn't have the slots to read the other books, so I really need to do that as well. So those are all my plans potentially, but yes, tomorrow going back to my family home, so gonna pretty much just wake up, get ready and go. and I guess I'll have picked my book by then. I'll let you know in the morning. Ooh, the intrigue. I mean, for you it's like mere seconds. For me, we have about 12 hours of decision making ahead of us. Hello, it is Saturday morning and I'm here to tell you what book I picked after my decision making last night. I went for Atlas 6 in the end and I have literally just read the prologue, but it's very interesting so far. I want to know more about what this magic system is and if this is kind of an alternate version of historical events that we know that's happened to get to where the present situation is. I'm very intrigued to find out more, and I'm just about to start the first proper chapter where we follow one of the characters and we get to know somebody after like literally a three-page prologue. That's hard to say. I read the prologue last night and then just fell straight asleep because it was late. Also, the font size in this arc is so small, so that's interesting reading experience. Is a little bit hard to see, so that's kind of annoying, but at the same time also I feel like it's pushing more than 400 pages now, because it is under 400 pages, this physical copy, but I think with that font size, if that was at a more normal font size, it would be longer. Or maybe I'm just kind of thinking too much about the font size, but anyway, it's got quite a small font size. So I'm actually going to be wrapping this vlog up here because I thought it'd be quite nice to have a camera-free weekend when I go home today. It's back to my family home. So I'm going to be wrapping it up here. Thank you for coming along on this reading journey this week with me. I really didn't expect to have finished My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologizes. Keep them to really think about that title. Yeah, I really didn't expect to finish that this week, I think, because it was so slow paced. I didn't expect it to pick up like it did and just make me really want to keep going. So I'm definitely really excited to join my patrons in a discussion for that. If you want to join in on that discussion, by the way, this is running from January to February, so this book will continue into next month as well. Details are all linked down below, as is anything about Patreon live sprints and things like that if you ever want to join those. I think I'm going to try and do 2 next week, or the week you're watching this. Definitely one on Wednesday, and I think maybe one on Monday. Maybe. I have not yet decided. So yes, glad that I was able to finish that and excited to be reading the Atlas 6, which is not one that I necessarily thought I'd get to read this month, so yay! Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you've been reading this week, and if you want to comment something and you're not really sure what you'd like to comment, pop a little dog emoji down below because there was a dog in the book that I just finished. Also, you can subscribe to see more of my face on your feed, and as I said, my Patreon is linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive.